Will we make it to Central America? We've been traveling so slow and our timeline is closing in. The temperatures are slowly rising, making it a little uncomfortable in the van. But we are only 30 minutes from the Belize border.
After much debate and timeline planning, we're deciding to go for it.
Well, now that we've made the plan, we gotta go quickly.
So we figured we'd cross today.
We left Bacalar and are heading to a wild horse camp farm in Sarteneja, Belize. Here we will be taking a ferry to the tropical town of San Pedro to celebrate accomplishing our travel goal of Canada to Central America. Stopped at the gas station to fuel up one last time before entering Belize because Belize is known to be extremely expensive, so getting the van ready for a new country. Google Maps says it's only a 2-hour and 15-minute drive. The one thing we've learned over the past year is that border crossing days always take longer than expected. On the Mexico border side, we have to turn in our immigration papers, otherwise known as an FMM. If you're interested in doing this drive, take our advice and always keep your FMM receipt. For some reason, we can't take our own advice, and we've paid for them 3 times now. If you exit Mexico by vehicle, you will need to pay a tourism tax. Things feel slightly informal, which can cause some confusion, but luckily everyone is willing to help. After the Mexico side, you will enter into Belize where more paperwork is needed. This side seemed relatively empty, but the amount of buildings and processes were, well, a lot. You need to show your COVID vaccine card or take a COVID test. Then you have to buy COVID insurance for $18 a person. Head to the next building to get questioned on your plans in Belize.
So we went through, got our passport stamped, all that, got our tip, which is free actually here, but then you have to pay for like essentially parking or some other thing because we're a foreign vehicle. And then you have to get insurance for your vehicle. So the last stop is to get insurance for our vehicle.
You guys, we made it to Belize!
Final paperwork, baby. Final paperwork is checked off. That's it. We got everything. We got all the paperwork. And really, I mean, we've been in a Spanish-speaking country, Mexico, for the last 3 months. And I would say, like, being in an English-speaking country like Belize makes it so much easier when you're dealing with, like, these types of things. It's not as cool. It's a little underwhelming, but it does definitely make this process a little bit easier, even though it was overall, like, 3 hours plus of time. It's just not that many people were there. It's just a slow process. A lot of things to do.
95 degrees.
It's hot.
Woo, baby.
It's hot.
Well, little pit stop.
Nowhere on the map said there was a ferry, but we'll be taking not 1, but 2 ferries according to the locals. Hey, we're down for a ferry ride, and it just adds a little bit of excitement to the day.
Adds 2 hours to the ride, too. Our first thoughts about the unexpected ferry. It was a roadblock to our final destination. But after talking to the locals in line, we quickly realized that this was just part of the everyday life here in Belize. Enjoy the process and the time to connect with people. Learn new things and slow down. Take it all in. I think we're gonna like it here. Both Faris and I were pretty intrigued with the ferry. It's a manual ferry open every day, and these guys crank it back and forth all day long. The ride is about 10 minutes and it's not super big, which causes the holdup. But like we said, enjoy your time. It's no biggie. These guys even let us try it out. I think they were happy to take a little break.
This is the way. It's manual powered ferry. Yeah, Lisa.
I've never even seen a manual ferry. These are the moments we are so grateful for. You only really get these experiences when you drive through smaller towns, travel slow, and be open to new ideas. These are the times we'll think of when we say we drove our van from Canada to Central America. And after our first ferry, we then waited for the Sprint Slow family to cross, since only one van could fit on the boat at one time. We made a few friends in line at the ferry. Everyone was super nice and wanted to help us in any way they could. One of them volunteered to show us the way to ferry number 2. He also had the cutest dog named Poppy.
Okay, now for ferry number 2 of the day. This one's a lot smaller and a lot quicker. There's no line. The last one took about an hour for us to even get on the ferry, so. second ferry of the day, and we got both vans, baby, both vans. These ferries are just free because they don't have bridges, so it's pretty cool. I mean, this is an exciting thing. This is something that we don't see every day.
What are we doing first?
So one of the guys that we met while we were waiting on the ferry offered us to stay at his property, and this view in front of me is insane. He's like, you don't want to stay where you're staying. This place is right on the water, and he doesn't normally do this. So, but I mean, we're just going with it.
Just going with the flow.
We're just going with the flow right now. Totally go with the flow. This looks crazy.
It does.
Oh my God.
This view! So sometimes risks pay off and then sometimes they don't. In van life it can be a tad more risky because we have all of our belongings with us, but we completely lucked out and we have the most amazing spot.
Let me tell you about what happened last night. So we were waiting in line for the ferry. We met a bunch of expats. They were super nice. One offered us to go to his property where his house is being built, and he has this caretaker. And he showed us pictures of it. It's super beautiful. It was on the water with a bunch of beaches. We get there. It is immaculate, super nice. He takes us there. He shows us all around. We're having a really good time. And he mentions he has this caretaker. Well, he leaves the property because this is just a construction site for him where he's building his new home, and he has another place where he lives. So he leaves. Right when he leaves, the caretaker starts blasting the music, and we hadn't met him yet. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna break the ice a little bit. I'm gonna go over there, give him these beers just to kind of break the ice. Well, immediately the dogs come up and start growling at me, and he's swearing at me, telling us to leave. And he's saying, we don't want you here, all this other stuff. So it was just, I immediately felt threatened, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So I run back to the vans and I tell everyone, hey, we're not welcomed here. We gotta go. This guy, I don't want to be staying here while this guy is around. So we pack up, ditch out, it's pitch black after we looked at this amazing view, and we jump out of there. So all in all, we felt threatened, we got out of there, we're safe, but that's what happened.
Like I said, you win some, you lose some. Hey, it's a new day.
Lisa, jump in, let's go. We gotta get on this ride. After our shenanigans yesterday, we made it back to the horse camp, and now we're being taken to the ferry via truck. So here we go, the whole crew is back here. And I think we're weighing it down back here, probably because of the burrito I had last night.
All right, so we're going backwards to get to the ferry. It's a little nerve-wracking.
That's where the ferry's gonna be.
After waiting about an hour, the ferry arrived and it was completely packed. But totally worth the ride because we were headed to San Pedro to celebrate our travel goal of Canada to Central America. We are leaving Tina back at the horse camp in Sarteneja and we'll pick her up in a few days. Woo! Baby.
How do you feel after that?
That was a tight ride, but I feel good. We've arrived. We've made it. I can't believe we all fit on there, honestly. That was crazy.
Just made it to our hotel room in Belize. This is our first hotel room we've had in a year of van life. It's nothing crazy, but it does have a stovetop and it does have a pretty comfy bed. I am looking forward to the adventures we have in store and getting used to the extra space in here.
In our next video, we celebrate our travel goal of Canada to Central America by showing you the best 48 hours in San Pedro, Belize. There's lots of blue water, snorkeling, sharks, and our favorite, the local cuisine.